Mustafa.
Hey, Lauren, how are you? So
good
good to see you, Peter.
Morning, Mustafa. Great to see you.
Great to see you as always. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Brian.
Great to see this setup that you've got.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the management of the show that they just given me a new spot and that I've tried my best to do the best I can. So, I mean, you can see, I did my best.
It looks like you've done pretty well.
Thank you.
We won't say it's your best because then what'll you bring next year? But
Right. Thank you very much.
Done
I
very
really
well.
appreciate it. What an honor for me to bring everything.
And especially with the theme for this year being
Right.
pegmatite.
Right.
I mean, how can you not love the way that
Thank
they're
you.
two parallel each other? And when you bring specimens
Thank you.
like this,
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Actually, because of the theme, when I was told that the theme is pegmatite, so I thought, you know what, I wouldn't have better opportunity than this to present all the best pegmatite stuff that we have from our part of the world, Pakistan and Afghanistan. And I believe that somebody would not see all these great specimens all at once on display that you're going to see. I think I did my best. I brought all the major things which matches the theme of the show this year. So it's absolutely an honor for me.
well, we're delighted that you played so well to the theme.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure for me. What I would like to start, Peter and Lauren, with this exceptional specimen for me, as you know that we see a lot of aquamarine specimen on Albite, but what you see here, a perfectly crystallized microcline variety of feldspar crystal, super shiny, with a super gemmy quartz, with a sprinkle of shards on Albite, which is one of a kind, and it is a black. Usually the feldspars are white, but in this case you can see it's black. The contrast is just amazing. Just amazing.
And the way that it shows the multiple steps and varietals within the same pocket,
Right.
really,
Incredible.
How can you not love pegmatite? But
Absolutely.
do things like this.
Absolutely. Like, for 30 years, I've been looking at the aquamarine production, but I've never seen, everybody was asking me, is the feldspar natural or is it polished? It's so lustrous that we have never seen such a luster and such a perfect crystallization of feldspar. And with that black contrast, it's just amazing. And to see the gemmy quartz.
Is that a twin?
Yes, the Vino twin it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's not only lustrous, a different color, but it also happens to be a twin.
It is indeed.
Just
it is
to be
indeed.
the icing on the cake.
Absolutely. And to see that gemmy quartz, Lauren, look at that quartz, how incredible and super gemmy it is,
Brian, you really want to see this specimen from this side.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking down, you can see that twinning, that beautiful aqua spray, and then this limpid quartz.
It's again, one of them things when I say there's a lot of aquamarines out there in the market, but you always you look for the uniqueness, for the special, for the things that people haven't seen before. But a feldspar crystal like this have never been seen before with the aquamarine and quartz. It's one of a kind specimen in my opinion. And it's about 45 centimeter size and weighs more than 28 kilograms. And I name it Crown of Sugar. So
There you go.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And
Absolute
Before we
pleasure.
get too distracted on this one,
Right.
you've got some fantastic things in the display cases.
Thank you so
and this is always one of my favorite interviews to do
Wow.
because
I'm honored. Thank you.
you have things that you hide away as well. So
You always have to come with things like that, as you know, because the viewers always want the surprises, and we can't live without it. So you will always have that. And then before I show that, I would like to just quick peek on some of the
Let's
good
look at the
pieces.
cases.
That's what I would like Brian to just show at the cases, some of the things that I brought this year.
So-
and
this little thing is just so cool that the
mica is
the
just-
mica's just floating on
Right.
top of the
tourmaline.
The tourmaline.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, again, it's uniqueness, Usually you have a mica on the side or the tourmaline sitting on it, but it's like an umbrella covering the tourmaline. It's just
And they're kind of like it reminds me of some of the like cartoons with like the umbrella with all the little creatures
Exactly.
underneath it.
right, absolutely.
So what's the story with the pink tourmalines? I don't recall seeing such essentially clean pink tourmalines from your neighborhood. I mean, that would be an exceptional piece for Southern California, but I would expect that.
Right.
And usually when you see pink from your neighborhood, it's mixed with other colors.
It is 2 years ago that we hit a pocket in a Pachigram mine, which is in a Nuristan province, and it was a surprise for everybody to see this quality, and with the association of the white muscovite, which looks like a snow, and the quartz. So I think it was a surprise for everybody. But what we so like about that is just the brightness of the color and pure baby pink, which makes the color pop out to the viewers, which was a great find. So we have some major pieces from the find as well, which we will look at the other cases. And as you can see, some of the aquamarines that usually we specialize and the appetite with aquamarine in combination. Just to bring varieties of stuff.
This little miniature down here.
Yeah.
is-
Yeah, I was.
I'm glad you pointed that
love that
out,
specimen. We were
because
talking about
a
this
lot of
earlier.
people, they wouldn't just go for that little miniature, but you
No.
see it's a perfect appetite.
I think it's.
Sitting in between shell.
I love it.
Right.
And one of the things I love about this booth is that
Yeah.
yes, you've got some of the really big pigs,
Yes.
but you also have specimens that are beautiful and attainable. All
Absolutely.
at the same
Absolutely.
time. So
Yeah. The idea, Lauren, is obviously we bring the big and just major specimens, but for bringing the small specimen, because we have a young generation, young collectors who is coming, so we don't want to dishearten them as well. So when we have a fine specimen, higher quality, we always want to bring the smaller ones as well. So when they come to the booth and they see, wow, so they can afford something as well. So that's the idea behind it, and we'll always keep doing that.
well, I love it.
Yeah, great. So we move to the next case. What I would like to point out in here is these beautiful smoky quartz with calcite, which is the new find from Sugar Valley in Pakistan. Usually you see this type of quartz from Switzerland, but it was a surprise find from Pakistan that we found this year.
So is this coming from cleft pockets up high? Is like what you would see them coming out of in Switzerland, or
They come usually, we have an aquamarine mine, sometimes Tourmaline mine,
Yeah.
and then, right next to it, we get the quartz, and then sometimes they open a pocket, there's a quartz, because usually when we open a pocket, there are quartz crystals
Yeah.
on the ceiling of the pocket, and then further you go, you find tourmalines and aquamarine. So usually we find it in that way, which is very interesting. And
the color's magnificent.
yeah, that fluorite there, Lauren, I think what I so like about the association of beautiful green fluorite, gemmy mica phlogopite with feldspar and with tourmaline. I mean, you always see the fluorite and tourmaline, but this arrangement, once again.
The combination, the full pocket assemblage, all
Right.
in one piece,
Yeah.
and all the species performing at their top level.
Look how gemmy is the muscovite. It's just, you can nearly see through it,
Well,
So,
one of the brilliant things on this one is that the green from the fluorite actually transmits through the muscovite.
Right.
So it makes the muscovite have a green hue
I was
to
going to
it.
point that out. You already picked it up, sir.
Oh.
That's the special thing about it. And that makes the muscovite color a little greenish.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
such a
just
fun
again
specimen.
unique specimen to get all these minerals together in such a good form and shape. Again, so
And what's the story with this amazing suite of Fodden quartzes that you have on your bottom?
quartz, Peter, is always my favorite, all-time favorite. And what I so admire about these foreign quartzes are, it's so crazy. I can point out a couple of pieces. You see, like, for example, that piece there,
one?
it's curved.
Yeah.
And you see the other one is like, different shape. And you see at the back is different shape. And this one next to the curved one is a tabular shape. This is like crazy. Like when you see the quartz coming in so many different forms and shape, I mean, it's just amazing to see.
Oh, they're neat. And
Right.
figuring out, they're puzzle specimens.
Right.
The kind of ones that you sit down afterwards and you go,
Right.
how did all the elements line up in such a way that
Right.
this is what occurred?
And you can see, Lauren, you always can say, oh, Mustafa, you're specialized in tourmaline and aquamarine. No, I want to bring everything, every species, so people can appreciate, they can see what's coming out of the ground, they can see what they have just, brought, what is coming, and they can appreciate the shape and size.
And you even brought something from me, a mangano and adamite. From
There you go.
Stuck in with all these
This is
amazing.
nothing for your collection. You got way better and exceptional pieces in your collection, Peter. But I'm glad that you pointed out. I love these Mangano Adamites. These are my favorite. But the quality could be better, of course. Maybe in future I will contact you. So you might have greater source than me for these Mexican minerals.
The best of those came out 43 years ago.
Wow. Well,
So
okay.
there's,
So that's what I said. I'm sure that you know
no
exactly
more-
what we are talking
no
about.
more of those have come out lately.
Right. We move to this next case that we have this beautiful rose quartz there.
Oh, yeah.
Why I so like is a perfect white quartz, and the rose quartz is ribbon around all over the quartz.
It's like a feather boa floating in the wind behind the quartz as it's walking along. I love it.
Right, and you can see, you know, the backside of the rose quartz is just putting a shade of pink inside the white quartz, so you can see through. It's like feeling like a pink inclusion, which makes it again a little unique. You know, that contrast of the color, and right next
to it, that huge fluorite.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
incredible. A lot of customers they come and they say, "Oh, it's morganite." It's not actually. You know, it's a twin pink fluorite or muscovite, which is odd shape.
It's one of those things where you sit across the path and you go, "That's a crazy morganite," and then you come up and you go, "It might actually be a crazier fluorite than a morganite."
Yes, it is.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't be distracted from that specimen by what's going on up top,
Right.
but you have all these little adorable happy agates
Thank you.
up here, and they just seem so. I mean, this one, he's having an interesting
Isn't
adventure.
it amazing the shapes,
The
is like-
shapes.
and the color.
And this one here with those perfectly positioned eyes
The eyes
and
there.
the color transitions
Right.
through these, and then
From an angle, the one with the eyeballs looks like The Scream by Edvard Munch.
Yeah. it does. Yeah. That's what is special about, you know. Actually, you know, Lauren, about this, I got one of these specimens, as you can see, but then I thought because this specimen is related with agate, why not put some of the beautiful agates from this locality from Mexico together so we can explain very easily and firmly about this specimen that actually is pseudomorph
Yeah.
with aragonite and agate.
I love Cuyamito. I
Right.
love when they also turn into specimens.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chihuahua is something that's important to us.
Right,
And,
absolutely. Peter, what do you think, since you're specialized in the locality? What do you think of this specimen?
It's a great example
Yeah.
of the pseudomorphs from there.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quartz on agate, pseudomorph of aragonite in such a shape and beauty. It's just,
that you can see, you know, at this bottom right corner, you get this window
Yeah.
into the pseudomorph.
right.
And so you can see the original aragonite shape
Okay.
preserved.
Yeah. And you can see a little agate there at the bottom, right,
Mhm.
that you mentioned, which is, it's again one of those unique specimens. So we thought, you know, we could put them on display and viewers can see. And the next case I would, oh yes, I forgot about this specimen of Tourmaline I have to mention. Usually we see a lot of Tourmalines, Lauren, but what I so like about this is the aesthetics.
Yeah, this I think how it's perched on the
Right.
quartz
Right.
color, the deep smoky color,
Right.
and just
Yeah, the smoky is so jammy, and the way that the quartz is grown, and then the quartz is holding in his mouth this big tourmaline and shouting that, you know, take it out of my mouth, it's too big for me. That is something that, you know, I made a theme for this piece, and it's like, you know, incredible shape. So
You're
it's like holding it.
You're saying it bit off more than it can chew?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's exactly a great example you could give, Peter. So yeah, I mean the aesthetic is there. The way that tourmaline is sitting right in between the two crystals of quartz is just amazing. So yeah,
okay. So Mustafa, I have a question on this case.
right.
Since I love every single specimen on top here,
Right.
is this your collection?
Wow, that's a great question. You know, 30 years since that time, a lot of people are telling me, what have you got in your collection? What have you got in your collection? And I said, you know, because I'm a dealer, I cannot keep the best. And it's not good for my customers. But they said, you cannot keep the best, but at least you can start with something. So what I did was I said, that's right. At least the small pieces I can start to put in my collection. So I put a suite of different variety of specimen, and I've just created my collection just 2 weeks ago. And that will stay in my collection for people to just appreciate.
Well,
I don't know what do you think about it.
I absolutely adore all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we have very similar sense of aesthetic, apparently. I mean, between the bright pink topaz,
Right.
the cavensite with the three balls perfectly aligned.
Yeah, a lot of people say only Cavensite, but you can see the static and beauty of it. Like you can always put it next to emerald. Why not?
You should never put the word only in front of cavensite. How can you not love that? glue?
Exactly. Thank you for that.
And then the Spessor team
Yeah.
on the back with once again those three crystals, boom, boom, boom. But the luster
Luster is incredible.
on that specimen is insane.
Peter, do you think they're the right specimen I should start my collection with?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I really love the shoral sticking out of the eye.
Out of the aqua, right.
So, That's special.
So that's just the start. I try to just choose the pieces which have their own characters and their own way of aesthetic. So
Well, if that's where you're starting, watch out. I mean,
thank you.
I also just have to point this out. This kunzite in the back, the little cat ears.
Right, there you go.
Oh my gosh, it's
super
just-
flawless and gemmy.
Flawless, gemmy. They all have character. They all have
Thank you.
style. And you're doing a fantastic
Thank
job.
you. Thank you so much. I try my best. That's another project that I have in my mineral business that I hopefully I can build on that. And right next to it, you can see some of the beautiful aquamarines on feldspar clusters. These are from King of Kashmir Pocket as well, gone mine in sugar. And again, the association and the color and the contrast, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think your customers can complain a whole lot about you keeping little things like this if you have things
The
like
bigger
this
one.
that are available.
Look at that morganite, Laura. Just cluster
Yeah.
of morganite and Mangano tantalite sitting right in the middle. I mean, how could you not appreciate that both barrels and blue is in the bottom, pink is on the top?
I don't think I've ever seen that many morganites on a single specimen.
No, me neither. Yeah, yeah. And the way they are pressed on the matrix, and then the Mangano tantalite right on top of, in the middle of these morganites, it just makes it
And then you got another one kind of hiding up
Yep.
here in the corner.
little Mangano tantalite there.
And then the quartz got a little bit of contrast
Yeah.
as well. But how do you not love that kind of pink?
Right, there you go.
It's one of the reasons why someone can look over at that fluorite and go, is that
Thank you.
morganite? Because the specimens here are so exceptional.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. And I have to mention, to be honest with you, when we had a setup on Wednesday, we came and it was 12 o'clock, our cases were ready, all ready. And from 12 o'clock, believe it or not, until the 7 o'clock, even the police officer were coming, you have to leave now, you have to leave, believe it or not, 7 hours, what I have done? Rearrangement of the color. Oh, this goes better here, this goes better there. Oh no, this is not good here. So 7 hours, we just put all that energy into make sure the right colors are put together, the display looks better. And because of that reason, you can see the little one, like Peter said, and the big one, and you can see the other cases, what we have put and how we have put. We have tried our best, so.
Well, thank you so much for putting in so much effort into putting it together because it really shows
Thank
and
you.
we get a benefit.
I am very grateful from Brian, from you, Lauren, from Peter, always to come and just show our hard work, and then people can appreciate it. So to the next case, I mean, one of my favorite cases, the other favorite cases that I have, I would like to first start with this beautiful marker Tourmaline from Russia. For me, what is so unique is not only the static and size of the crystal, but these two forms of clevelandite. You can see on the right hand side is blue clevelandite, on the left hand side is a white clevelandite. What makes it, for me, I think it's something really amazing, you know. I've never seen it before.
No, it's such a stark transition that you wonder geochemically what's
Right.
causing that
Right.
transition.
Isn't it amazing, Lauren?
It's got a little bit of a Cruella de Vil
Yeah.
aspect to it. Oh man, that is sweet.
And you can quick put your hand with the crystal so you can see how big is the crystal of Tourmaline there.
It's also interesting that you get the blue clevelandite at the
Right.
same time as the quartz gets this etching.
Right, right.
And you wonder, what was going on here that caused that geochemistry to be so different from this side, where you don't have the etching in the quartz. And then meanwhile, the tourmaline is perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And bear in mind, it's already been cleaned, so it's not like, half is clean or half is not.
No.
It's very well professionally cleaned, but it is the way it is. Like, you can see the size of the crystal, so how large crystal it is, and then nesting in between those pores, and with the two different colors of clevelandite, it's just amazing.
I think that's probably one of the more fascinating malforms I've seen.
Yes. For me, I think I've seen a lot of Malcolms, but for this characteristics, I feel
It would be easy to mistake it for a Jonas.
Yes, the color, absolutely. The color is really remarkable, and the static, the way it sits. Right next to it, Lauren and
This is
Peter, I would like to say, I named this crown of Chumar Bakur Sumer Valley in Gilgit-Baltistan, where it's very famous for aquamarine and muscovite. What you see here is an incredible bridge of super lustrous aquamarine. And look at, Lauren, the fluorite sitting right on top of it. It could be anywhere else.
It's this. I love the flow that's within the aquamarine as well.
Right.
You have the smaller crystals are all oriented in such a way that it seems like
Because
it's not this kind
incredible.
of play of light to
Right.
it. And
Right.
simultaneously, you have these bigger crystals that pop up every once in a while
Right.
and just really highlight the overall specimen. And gives us this 3D aspect. And then perched on top as if as the crown jewel, as it were. You've got that
The fluoride. Actually, not only the aquamarine is bridging, if you notice, the fluoride is also bridging. The large fluoride on the top,
yeah.
and then little one coming all the way is bridging, like going right to the end, which is just amazing. A bridge of fluoride and a bridge of aquamarine cluster on a super shiny silver muscovite. I mean, Peter would know better. I mean, how special this piece is to have it in such a Arabian aesthetic, Peter.
It's just,
Yeah.
you said it. It's incredibly aesthetic.
Yes. And sometimes, a lot of people talk about big specimen, but when it's big and it's beautiful and aesthetic, it's just what you want to put as a large specimen. So,
It's a beautiful piece.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Well,
much for bringing it.
yeah, of
You're
course.
sort of known for size.
Yeah, I try my best. Yes.
And
I try my best. I brought some thumbnails.
You brought
a pair
some
of thumbnails. I did, yes.
Yeah.
Talking about thumbnails, Lauren, I know everybody knows about the Emperor and Empress of sugar, a 40 kilogram of morganite, 22 kilogram of aquamarine, which we have shown in Munich and before as well. But my goal in aim, Peter and Lauren, was I have to bring this and let the viewer see it in person. And it was exactly what happened. People came, oh, I thought in the video this, I thought in the photo that. And when they see it, they just couldn't believe that nature can just produce something like this. And you see the colors, the blue, the pink, it pop out so crazy. I mean, Peter.
yeah, the only thing that's missing is your face grinning between them, like that picture that you used.
Well, that's right. You've seen that picture, but thank you. I take that as a compliment, Peter. Thank you
It's
so much.
intended though.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I mean, the depth of color,
Yeah.
how clean.
If I may open the case, Lauren, so you
Yes,
can
please.
see, show the viewer when you put your hand, or maybe you can get in a little bit, they can see the incredible size, that, and you can see the termination. What do you think, Lauren? I think I saw a smile in your face, but I don't know why.
Favorite shot of the day.
Okay, great.
I just the blue has an incredible aspect. It's not just an aqua blue. There's a true sky blue to it.
Yes,
It
yes.
has almost like a very light purple undertone.
Right.
And so because of that, you have the quintessential, baby boy blue
Right.
rock, baby girl pink rock.
I love that.
This is just,
And you
oh
saw
my
that
gosh.
little quartz crystals
Little
growing on the
quartz
side. It's
crystals
just
growing on it.
amazing.
The termination here.
Right.
Oh,
And the fact that they're both barrels and they're very well crystallized in the habit of the geometry of the barrel, and then one is blue, one is pink, and that's the reason I decided to keep them as a pair. It will go as a pair. I would never just tear them apart.
No,
and
they're-
it deserves to be as a pair, right?
they match so well. They're
Thank you.
so impressive.
Thank you.
And how could you break up a couple like that?
And I worked really hard, Lauren, on these two pieces. I wasn't sure that I was going to make it to bring it, but I did my best that I have to bring these pieces. And if there's going to be any show to bring, there's none better show than the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. And with the theme, just perfect. And I don't know if you noticed, Lauren, it is doubly terminated. If Brian can show a little bit in the bottom,
Oh, wow.
it's recrystallized like a bridge. As you can see, it's just
Yeah.
doubly terminated. So the top is a plain flat termination, and the bottom is like bridging like a crazy termination. Which is,
These deposits
Right.
have to be so wild
Yes.
to do this. I
yes,
mean,
exactly.
the way that I kind of like to think about pegmatites
Right.
is you're in a little space and all the different crystals are fighting over the elements so that
There
they
you
can be
go.
the biggest, baddest in the
Right,
deposit.
right, there you
But
go.
the fact that you get something that size,
Right, and then with
that
such a
well-
termination.
such a termination, that color, you know that he was definitely
Thank you,
pulling a roost in there.
thank you. I'm so glad that the pieces came here. More glad that the viewers saw them in person. I had some of the kids and the families coming and telling me, "Wow!" And when I tell them, you know what, I can open the case and you can just have a look at it, and they were overwhelmed. And they says, "Wow, can I do that?" I says, "Look, that's the reason I brought them. I want you guys to see them in person, enjoy them."
Well, and just in doing that, you have probably created some new young mineral collectors.
That's
so.
the team and aim, to be honest with you. That's my plan. We have to do that because, we only live, for how long? Obviously, we need the new generation to come. And that's the best we can do, teach them and do the best possible and make them confident, because usually, the small collectors and the youngs are always like, oh, can I touch this? Can I touch it? No, just do the way you want. Be brave.
Well, when they're this size, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Isn't it amazing that when you touch it by yourself, it's different feeling, you know? So, excellent, excellent. She's excited.
She enjoyed that one.
Great.
Well, and if that wasn't enough, you skip over here and
Right.
you've got this supernova.
Yes, thank you. I know already it's been filmed, but you know, as you can see, to bring all those minerals and put them on display all at once, that was my dream, and I'm happy that it happens, and the viewers were very happy about it. Again, Lauren, if you see at the back, there's actually a big crystal of aquamarine. The whole spray is actually grown on that aquamarine of big crystal.
Oh wow!
And
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. If Brian can just show that, so it's not on albi. It's incredible to see the big barrel is first grown the aquamarine, and out of that big crystal is these little crystals that are grown, and then you can see the way they are just grown is just you couldn't get it better.
Well, the only way you can use the word little crystal in association with this specimen is
Right.
only because we just saw the Emperor. Because those are spectacular. Wow.
Peter, what do you think of the aesthetic of this specimen? I mean, I really have to ask you that. I mean,
I don't think you could design one.
thank you. I wanted to. Yeah.
Especially with those occasional shorels
Yes.
suspended within the aquamarine.
Right.
It's just
And the little quartz crystals as well, all around the matrix. The white, the black, the blue, the contrast, and then the flower right in the middle of the matrix. I mean, maybe I'm too much excited about it, but I mean, it
No.
really is.
You might not be enough excited.
Okay, thank you. It is just incredible, incredible. It's a pure joy to be able to have, specimens like that, in our career to.
and if that wasn't enough, you also have this beauty.
Yeah.
I
A purple top with a blue color from Afghanistan, Purpuric Nuristan.
with those perfect little albites, sort
Yes.
of seashell.
And do you see
plus
the quartz?
smoky, and it looks like the quartz was inhibiting the growth, so it
Right.
gives you this depth into, like a scoop into the tourmaline, which then gives the termination more dimension, and simultaneously really pulls that purple forward and through
Right.
in such a way that you see it across the room and you go, ooh, that's different.
And you see a hole at the top of the termination where you explain the course. It didn't let them the termination to be all the way through, and it stopped right at that end. And it's just the contrast again and the aesthetic of the colors is really,
Yeah.
really
No,
amazing.
Gene Myron and I were talking about this specimen the other day.
Right. If I may close the case and we
Yes.
move to the next case. So this interview have to be longer because I brought some better pieces. So you have to keep filming and filming and filming. I know, Brian, you looked at your watch. Let me just open the case. So I know, Brian, you looked at your watch, but what can I do? I mean, I have to show all the best things I brought at last. The next specimen, Laura, I would like to show
It's the
this.
Morganite.
And Morganite.
Oh, yeah.
It's the Morganite that is.
Transparency on that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, the thickness, you see how thick it is, the clarity. If I may pick up the specimen, yeah, of course you can. Maybe I'll just move it away. You can get in there. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You can actually read a newspaper over there, if
You can find one.
yeah, if you bring it right, if you can bring it right under the light there, you can see the real pink color. How incredible pink
that's
color. Yeah,
great.
there you go. I love that. There you go, Morganite on Clevelandite. You can just read through it. Isn't it
Oh
amazing?
my
Lauren?
gosh.
I mean,
The color
yeah.
is like, it's. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's almost kunzite color.
Right.
There's a pink, but it's almost got a lilac undertone in
Right.
such a way that it's
Does the
amazing.
color change at all if you look at it on edge rather than through the body of the crystal?
Yes.
Yeah,
Actually-
again, we saw a lot of Morganites, but to see it in such a clarity,
Oh, yeah,
and then to see it in such a color, and then pink. I
And
mean,
then pink.
there you go. So,
Wow. And just the fact that you have that matte termination
Yeah.
with the totally gemmy.
little tourmaline
And so
crystals on the
because
elbow.
of that, you get the color really comes through because you don't get any of the loss
Right,
of the color through the gemminess.
For me, it's again one of a kind Morganite specimens.
absolutely.
You always see great ones, but always there are inclusions. Always there are something that you cannot see through, but you show the label through it. So it's the great, easiest way that the viewers can see how clear it is. Yeah,
Absolutely glassy.
yeah.
And it's amazing that this is, and because of you, we get to see this as a specimen
Right.
rather than I am sure there are cutters that dream of this piece.
Exactly. Oh, yes. Don't even name cutters.
But
Lord,
you know
come
what?
on now.
This
I know what
is
you're thinking.
absolutely.
I like that. So that's beautiful. Crazy.
Oh, man. I love it.
Perfect.
I love it.
Perfect. Very nice.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolute
this.
pleasure. Thank you so much for filming it. It's a pleasure to film that. And right next to it, I know that it's a zeolite, but
Oh
but
no!
it's again like the cabins that you saw in the other case. The way that the flower is sitting right on top of the matrix, Peter. I mean, how beautifully.
It's the apophyllite equivalent of the aqua supernova.
Right.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah. So that's an example, Lauren, I can give you. We don't always look for gemstone minerals. We always look, for aesthetic.
You look for specimens that make people just happy to hold and see and want to take that happiness home with them.
Right. Absolutely.
Which
That's
is,
what it's all about.
I really like that.
Yes. I'm happy you
That
appreciate
window behind there has such an amazing twist.
Yeah. And sitting on the matrix, actually it's double gwindle. The middle one is gwindle, and on the left hand side you see there's another crystal which is also twisted.
Look at that.
Yeah, also twisted, which makes the specimen so special. Again, we see gwindles on matrix, but to see it together in such a form, it's just one of a kind and incredible specimen. You see the twist, Laura?
Yeah,
How
no, there's
twisted it
the
is?
incredible twist here, the twist there.
Yeah.
That one's interesting because it's almost twisting this way and somehow rolling back like this. That is a really cool piece.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the twist is just incredible, and to have the twist together next to it, like. And with the little quartz crystals, sitting right in front of it. I mean, just.
Yeah, the fact that you get both in the matrix and
Right.
the combination.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just the uniqueness I always look.
Anyone who thinks you do just tourmaline is wrong.
Right.
They're not
We're
paying
talking
attention.
about the Tourmaline in Afghanistan and Pakistan. I would like, Brian, you to point out this incredible Cruzeiro Tourmaline. Lauren, I'm sure that you have seen many of the Cruzeiro Tourmalines, but what is so special on this is you can see how the three crystals are in such a quality and clarity grown together and makes the specimen so steady.
That is hot pink.
Yeah. With a beautiful termination and with the side crystals. So it's a mummy, daddy, and his son, or a daughter. You can name it, whatever.
Daughter.
Yeah, daughter is fine. So the daddy is larger, the mummy, and in between is the daughter. So
Papa bear, mama bear, and baby bear.
there you
There we
go.
go.
Goldilocks.
The Goldilocks Tourmalines.
That's exactly what it is.
Cool.
I love that.
Me too. That's excellent.
Name was born right here.
Right here. And maybe I'll put it in the label as well. Why not? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. That's that case. We move to our last case. And again, talking of the tourmaline, Lauren, as you can see, this incredible kind of a bluish greenish tourmaline with a quartz, and the whole quartz is nested with the pink lepidolite, which is just. You can see the termination, the color is
Oh, the termination's
Yeah.
like an indigo
just,
color.
right.
And then it transitions to that teal and down to more of a green. I mean,
Yeah,
that
again, you can
color
see
combination.
It's just amazing. This is from the famous locality in Durham Page, Kunar province, Lauren. Usually we don't see this color often. Like on the top, you can see a super blue, and the bottom it goes to kind of a greenish. And to be able to have it on a matrix with lepidolite and quartz, I mean, and if you can just show the termination, Lauren, it's just super lustrous. I mean, it's super lustrous, as you can see from the top, and perfect,
wow.
without anything or damage, just amazing.
I mean, it goes from an indigo
Right.
to almost like a Roger Lee fluorite blue green. I mean,
that
it's
is a great example that it can give. Perfect example. Yeah.
it's amazing.
And these are the case that, like, when I talked about the color arrangement, as you can see, I've arranged the color. Talking about the colors is that,
pink with the quartz.
Although I don't know, this one with the little with the muscovite just floret
Well, you
sitting
can have
there.
that one. I'm going to take that one.
Okay, sounds good.
The one that Peter pointed out, of course, that has a septic pores with incredible arrangement. And of course, Lauren, the one that he pointed out, it was like the snow of white mica, just is like a snowfall on the tourmaline, which I again admire. That, you know, both the pieces you both have just pointed out is
Well,
just,
the thing that I like about this,
I like that effect, but I like the piece that we saw in the first case.
yeah, it's
With-
nesting.
oh, with the little
Roof.
with the little
Yeah,
umbrella.
Canopy, yeah, or the
So
umbrella.
therefore-
But this one reminds me of like the you know, the bridal photo, like the big rose crown
Mm-hmm.
or the big flower crown on top of the head. That's
And right at the back next to the aquamarine, if you see that rose quartz from Afghanistan, from Maroon mine,
this here.
yeah, I think
The
the shape of
color
the piece
is
and
so
the color.
deep.
Yeah.
And it's got that clarity because, you know, some of the rose quartz, they get a little, either have a lack of luster or a little bit murkier.
Yeah.
This color is like a true English rose
It
rose
is,
quartz. It's not a pink, it's an English rose. And I
You can
just
see it sits on a quartz actually. The whole rose quartz is sitting on a quartz. If you make and bring it out and you can show the backside of it, it is so beautifully
Oh, wow.
crystallized. You know, so it's from smoky going and growing towards the thing. It's just really amazing. And look at the shape. It's like something is opening a mouth and wants some food. It looks very hungry to me.
absolutely.
Yeah. See the luster and quality, Lauren, is just the best that we get out of Afghanistan. You get from Brazil as well, but I think when you see the color,
I
you can
think
see
the
difference.
color in this is
I
finer
think you're giving Brazil a real run for its money.
Yeah. Talking about the Brazil, I would like to point out that incredible etched morganite, Peter. I mean, look at the quality and the color and the etching that it has. It's just amazing. Again,
Yeah.
you know, these countries are producing just amazing quality and color. So.
But speaking of color, I'm not sure I've seen an Afghanite that's that big.
Me neither. When it comes to perfect crystal on calcite, I think the deep blue color is really, really beautiful. And if you can see from the front, from the back, the size of it, the shape of it, I think it's again, Peter, as you can see, we always have tourmalines, aquamarine quartz, and it's always nice to have these specimens as well. You know, for the collectors to see that, you know, these are also collectible, you know, items, which is a great example.
Lauren has a very interesting history with Afghanite.
Oh, it
'Cause
does.
We went to the Summer Show in
Oh, you did?
2000,
Okay.
2007.
Right, wow.
And there was a cabinet full of Afghanites, is how
Oh
they
my.
were labeled.
Wow.
And
And-
in the middle, off to one side of the case, I'm telling this story,
Yeah.
was this thing that she's looking at, and she goes, "That doesn't look right. That looks
Right.
like a corundum,
Wow.
a twin corundum."
Wow.
And it was Andreas Wirth's booth, and she goes, she points it out to Andreas. She says, "I don't think that's an Afghanite."
Wow.
And he looks at it and goes, "You're absolutely right. It's a beautiful sapphire corundum."
Ah.
And because she recognized it, not only did he not change the price, reflecting the fact that it was a gem sapphire,
Sapphire.
but he gave it to her for keystone.
Incredible. So that means that it's in your collection now.
It's in my collection. It will always be in my collection.
Wow.
I love it. It's one of my favorite specimens.
Incredible.
But it does mean that I now have a thing where I see really sweet Afghan.
Right, right.
Like that specimen or like the one that's in your collection. And
Thank you.
it's a warm place in my heart.
Great. Excellent. As you know, Peter and Lauren, every year at the end, we always come up with some, you know, that one of them, they call it under the table or the toilet rocks, like, you know.
Bathroom rocks. Bathroom rocks.
Bathroom rock.
Bathroom rocks, yeah, excuse me about that. Yeah. So I have some of the rocks here, so I would like to point out
I
and
love
show. And what I would like to start with is this. Again, you know, Falcon tourmalines, a lot of people have seen many, but what you can see here is
my new favorite. It's
Almost an amethyst purple.
right. And
That
then you
is-
see the sprinkle of tourmaline with the
Yeah.
muscovite and albite and 3 crystals growing is just unbelievable.
This came out of someone's fever dream. that is, and the fact that they're all going at just slightly different angles
Right,
as well.
right.
Oh, wow, the
I
terminations
mean, I've seen
are
the
so
single crystal,
sharp.
multiple crystals, but the way that 3 crystals are grown on such a beautiful mica. And do you see the sprinkle of beautiful tourmaline
Yeah.
on muscovite? Isn't it make it so desirable?
Oh,
And
you can
albite.
see
Yeah.
them going all the way through
Right.
here. Really showing the pegmatite.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite marked tourmaline that I've seen. Just the fact that, you know, they're so beautifully crystallized, perfect luster, and
The
great
setup
aesthetics.
is-
Oh,
Right.
the aesthetics are just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And the fact that, you know, it doesn't actually take that much light to get them
Yes.
to go to
Right.
that. I mean, it's like the best Guerrero amethyst purple that's almost like bubblegum pocket where they were almost red.
Right, right. okay.
That color in a tourmaline, and your brain almost doesn't want to quite process how good
Right,
the color
right.
is. Because it's trying to tell you, that can't be right. That can't be right. But yet there it is.
And that was the reason that, you know, the moment I saw the specimen, I thought, you know, I have to have it, you know, because it's something really special. Yeah.
Wow.
These little crystals are very
Yeah.
reminiscent of the color from the Stewart lithium mine in
Yeah.
Pala. So it's got that lithium pink or
Yes.
purple to the Clevelandite blades or mica blades.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Talking about the tourmalines, just a few months ago, we hit a pocket of tourmaline in Sugar Valley in Pakistan, which is famous for aquamarine.
Yeah.
And when you see it, it's just unbelievable to see something like this. Look at this. Absolutely doubly terminated, perfectly crystallized, and then beautiful crystals. If I may put a light, you can see how beautiful it glows. And it's Pakistan, Lauren.
Oh,
Look at the termination
my
in the back.
gosh.
And none of the side crystals have any damage. Imagine, you know, if you're just extracting it from the mine and then you save all those side crystals.
Tiny little point of attachment
The
there.
single point of attachment.
Yeah. And what I so like, Lauren and Peter, about it is just it starts so thin and it starts to get thicker and thicker and thicker, and then the shape is just
You have to share. I taught you that.
yeah. For us, it was a major find from Pakistan to have a pink tourmaline of this size and quality, you know,
It's amazing.
and little quartz there you
Yeah.
can see it sitting.
And the color too just
Yes.
has this. The whole specimen has this lightness
Right,
to it,
right.
in terms of the color and the shape, and
Yes.
it just seems ethereal.
Yeah, and when you put a light, it glows like. It's difficult to get it in the video, but I mean, in person, you know, the color is. As you can see, the more I bring the light, the incredible pink it glows. You know, so
It's like a Twix Smithsonite pink in a tourmaline.
yeah. And to find it from the locality where
Yeah.
aquamarine comes again,
Yeah.
for tourmaline collectors, it's got to be something like, you know, new and special.
Well, I mean, considering what the
I think-
aquamarines have done from there,
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't be totally surprised that it can do this incredible
Yeah.
tourmaline.
And we wouldn't be surprised that, you know, we'll get them on Matrix and you know, in Yeah. I wish we could get a tourmaline and aquamarine in combination, which is unrealistic, but you know, you never know.
You never know.
We are getting.
This may be my favorite tourmaline of all time.
Wow.
Just the color, the aesthetics, the
Yeah.
setup,
Thank
the
you.
perfection.
Thank you.
It's a really special piece.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, as you know, I have shown a lot of aquamarine, especially from Chumar Bakur, the locality where it produced the muscovite with aquamarine. As you all know, that it's very common, it comes. But in this case, the specimen that I'm showing for the first time, not only we have a muscovite with aquamarine, but perfectly etched crystals of Microcline feldspar, which in my opinion make this specimen really unique. From this locality, Lauren, we always get only aquamarine and muscovite, but in this case, it's the first time we get the etched Microcline variety of feldspar, very well crystallized. And look at the contrast of it.
And with just those perfect blades of mica.
Right. Again, like it is aquamarine and musk white, but what makes it so special, the contrast of white. We always see aquamarine musk white. Never we see something like this. And according to the miner, it was one of the only pieces that it was came out of the pocket together with the aquamarine and musk whites, which was very surprising for us. You see the etching there? And
etching's
actually the
amazing.
crystallization is also, you can see the perfect microcline. And then it also have etched it, which is,
Etched the microcline, but
Yes.
not anything else.
no.
Yeah.
No, exactly. That was so amazing.
It's
And it has a static
the,
as well.
the combination.
Yeah.
I mean, you
It's-
the fact that you get that dynamic
Right.
aspect from the etching in the microcline
Right.
in association with those silvery
Right.
micas and that perfect little explosion
Of
of
aquamarine
the
with a little
aquamarine.
side crystal.
And then you have the one crystal that has.
Oh yeah, I wanted to point that out. It's a complex termination, and the others are
Those are
flat
all flat,
termination,
yeah.
which is again is unique. And talking about the specimen, as you have seen before, I showed that large one on musk white with the flora. Of course, it was a beautiful piece, but it's a common thing, which we get from this locality. And what makes it unique is this microcline variety of feldspar together with it, which is just a great example of uniqueness and special that we can show to.
Really
Possibly.
seriously special and
Thank you. Thank you
Amazing
very
aesthetics.
much. I really admire
Yeah.
it. That's really beautiful. Too much aquamarine right next to it. Like I told you in the beginning, Peter and Lauren, that my favorite of all time is quartz. I love them. I love the way they grow, their habit. Talking about that is I'm going to show you this incredible peacock quartz
Whoa.
with the gold tide. As you can see, it's just unbelievable. From Donegal's locality, and look at how it's grown. How can you not break these crystals? How it's just so perfect, and the way it's sitting like a peacock. It's exactly like a peacock. Is that the right name that I gave to
Oh
the
yeah,
specimen?
definitely.
Yeah.
There's no other thing that you would name
There
that.
you go. Isn't it amazing that what nature's form and you see in the quartz?
and you can see that the peacock itself is a big hexagon.
Right.
It's composed of individual crystals, but you can see that it is essentially a single large crystal.
Which you can actually, I think, see the core of here.
Right.
And there's more of them down here in the bottom.
Right.
as well.
Yeah. And the contrast of the goethite with the quartz and
Yeah,
sitting
no, it's-
right on the top of the matrix is just truly remarkable. Again,
Neil
it's
Prim would
quartz.
have loved that rock.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely. Wow. This must have come out quite a.
It's actually a very old piece, according
Yeah.
to a person who I bought it from. It was for 20 years ago, fine, or 25 years ago. And the moment I saw it, it's one of them things. Is I always say, always people ask me, what is the best way to buy the mineral specimen? I always say one thing and one thing only. The moment they unbox it, you see it, and your heartbeat start to just go faster. It's the rock you want. So that's what it's all about. So the moment I saw this, I thought, this is something special.
And it absolutely is.
Yeah.
And I love the sort of the inclusions in the peacock fan.
Right.
Have this green color and
And
really.
sitting so perfectly right on the top of the matrix with the gold-tide contrast. I mean, just amazing.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Thank you,
wonderful
Peter.
Dalmagor.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, as you know, I've been specializing in aquamarines, but I really have. I know I have shown a lot of aquamarines, but I really have to show this aquamarine specimen. Have a look at this.
Oh.
Look at that, Peter. I mean, to see a quartz vertically grown so beautiful, and then the quartz nesting the aquamarine from the side so beautiful, and right in the middle, that flower with this main crystal major sitting right on the top of the matrix with the little crystals growing around.
And what's going on here? It almost looks like there's a rupture.
Right.
Where you got these one, two,
And three at the back as well.
three
Yeah.
crystals all kind of coalescing into
Yeah.
one right there.
And it's
Actually,
amazing.
I think
Do you think it's
that-
distortion?
I think actually this is
Growing-
one crystal
Right.
growing around this one. So these two pieces are actually part of
Right.
the same enveloping crystal
And the little
wrapped
crystals.
around the one that is cutting through
So we
diagonally.
got this one is the earlier. These two are actually
Around-
one that are growing
It's wrapped
around
around it.
this.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant.
And you can see the little crystal nesting around the major crystal right in the middle, and the color, the static, and the termination, and with the quartz and albite and sitting the way it is sitting. I mean, I had to show this aqua. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And this one is so gemmy.
yeah, super gemmy, sitting the way it sits so beautifully with great luster. So
Brilliant.
and look at the luster on the termination. It's just amazing. Super lustrous. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That,
No, just looking at this and looking at the supernova,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the similarity of the starburst of the crystals.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
You want to hold this? It's heavy.
Of course, she can handle that.
I know that. I'm just making sure she's expecting it. That's
Sure, of course. Isn't it beautiful? Just amazing. Yeah. And actually, there's two crystals there grown together. You can see from the termination, and they're just kind of like two crystals. They're attached and grown together, which is just amazing. Yeah.
brilliant specimen. As always, Mustafa.
Thank you very
just
much.
bring
Thank you very
Such
much. I am
incredible
absolutely
pieces.
honored. I'm very, very happy. I thank you, Brian, so much. As always, I don't know how to thank you, Brian. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you,
Thank you
Peter,
for showing this.
giving me this opportunity, because it's all about I work so hard for all the mountains and bring the stuff to Europe, from Europe here, and then when I have opportunity to just show everything, well, that's just the job done perfectly.
Well-
It's just the feeling that we get is amazing.
and thank you so much for the opportunity to see all of this.
Absolute a pleasure for me.
Hold these.
I
see
hope
them.
people have enjoyed it. That's the idea. The reason I bring everything and put them all together, that I want the young generation, the collectors, to come and see the nature's wonder and how we started. I want them to start the same way as well.
Well, thank you for being a highlight of the Tucson Gem Mineral Show. And,
That for you is a little heavy, right?
thank you
Just
so
put it in
much.
Here. Thank you very much again. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to see the
Peter,
wonderful
absolute
things you
pleasure
bring.
for me. Thank you so much for your help, support, Brian. You're the man. That's all I can say. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.